Hi, I'm Ben Harrington from Wrap Digital, and on my video blog this week, we're looking at one of the most effective ways that you can send targeted traffic to your website, and that is using AdWords. Okay, so this week we're looking at AdWords, and probably the most common provider of AdWords is Google, of course, but Bing also do it. And if you've used AdWords before and you haven't been successful with it, or you've thought about AdWords and it's not really been something that you wanted to go ahead with, I'm hoping this video may change your mind, because if you get AdWords right, it can be incredibly beneficial for your business in terms of growth and in terms of acquiring clients. So AdWords is also referred to as search marketing, that meaning that someone's looking for your product or your service online, they're searching for it and they find your advert. And it's probably more effective now than things like search engine optimization, because frankly the networks want to make money, so they're more likely to promote AdWords. There are, broadly speaking, two kinds of AdWords that you can run. One is a search network AdWords campaign. Now that's when you go onto something like Google and you look for something specifically, and you'll then see a series of adverts, and I'll actually flash up an image of that so you can see what I'm talking about. The other option is using the display network, and that is more where you'll see adverts on particular websites. So if you go onto a specific website, you'll see an advert, normally in what we call a banner, so it'll be of a certain size, either at the top or maybe down the side, and that will have an image or text to encourage you to click on that advert. They both work in different forms depending on what your requirements are. But what I want to talk to you today about is the three things that make AdWords so incredibly beneficial for lots of different clients. Now the first one is you can be incredibly specific when it comes to your AdWords campaigns. Now by that I mean you can control who is seeing your ad. If you take the search network, for example, you can control who sees your ad based on the words that they type in to Google or Bing. So if you want a specific phrase that helps your ad, makes your ad be shown, you can control that. So let me give you an example. We run a marketing company, we run an online marketing company. I would never associate just the word marketing with our business, because if someone's looking for a job in marketing, then our ad would be shown. So I would be more specific, and I might say online marketing for dental practices. That ad would then that keyword would then display an ad that links to the search phrase that someone's used. So you can be very specific about what someone looks for. You can also be specific about where they're looking. So we work with companies all over the southeast of England, but we are based, we're based near Newbury in West Berkshire. The chances are we're more likely to work with someone down here than we would do in Scotland. So we often control where our adverts are shown, and you can do the same. If you're a plumber, you probably aren't going to want to travel 100 miles for a job. So you can geographically locate your advert, and it's an immensely powerful way of working well. And I have to say, not all people using AdWords do this, but it's a really good way of controlling your budget and controlling who's seeing your ad. You can also be specific about when they see your ad. So if you are more likely to sell your product or service on a particular day of the week, then you can control those days. If you're more likely to make sales or get conversions on a particular time of day, so maybe people are more likely to look for what you do in the evening, you can control when those ads are shown. So you can be very, very specific when it comes down to AdWords and who's looking at what you're doing. In terms of the display network, you can also be specific about where your adverts are shown on those websites. So you can either form a list yourself of particular websites you want to use, or probably more commonly you do it based on category. So let's say you're selling a high-end watch, for example, you're probably not going to want to put that on a website that deals with children's toys, but you might put it on a website for maybe high-end cars, or perhaps a golf website or that sort of thing. So you can control the types of people that are seeing your adverts based on the websites that they're showing on. Now the second phenomenon, which is very powerful, is that it's very much measurable. So you can measure how your campaigns are working. And the good thing there is that will give you a clear understanding as to what is working and what isn't working, which is the most important thing when it comes to online marketing. So you can measure how much it costs to convert a client based on that advert. You do it by putting some code on your website or getting your friendly web geek to do that for you. But it's a really good way of judging and testing how much you're spending on acquiring a client. And let's face it, if that value is less than the actual value of the client, you've got yourself a good model there for growing your business. And then because of that, it's pretty good to get return on investment. Now, will you get that straight away? Maybe not, but the fact is, if you have a product or service that someone's looking for, you can be very specific about who you're sending to your site. If your site's good enough and your product is good enough, you're more likely to sell that product and therefore get a decent return on your investment. So AdWords is, a really good way of growing your business if you've got the budget to do it and you've got a reasonably priced product. So when it comes to actually running the AdWord campaigns, I would suggest you probably need to find someone that knows what they're doing and that has run AdWords for lots of different clients and that understands the actual mechanics behind it. It is a complicated process to get right. Even though all these things are very true, if you don't know what you're doing, you will get your fingers burnt. Google and Bing are happy to take your money even if you don't get it right. So you do need to use someone that's got some ability in this area. One of the ways you can find that out is to look to see if they've got partner status. So for example, we are a Google partner. We've gone through a series of exams. We have a certain number of clients who spend a certain amount of money. That's not something that someone that doesn't know what they're doing can actually get. So a good idea is to look out to see if the people you're looking to run your AdWords campaigns actually have partnership status. And you also do need to have some kind of a budget. I've met people before who've looked at Google AdWords and they can spend £1 a day. It's just not for you. Sometimes you do need to, get your credit card out and spend money on your business, especially when it comes to marketing. So if you've not got a huge budget, AdWords may not be right for you at the moment. Having said that, the Bing network is much cheaper than the Google network. So actually that could be an option if your budget isn't quite as high. So look, I hope that's been useful. If you've tried AdWords before and it hasn't worked, might be worth revisiting. If you've never thought about AdWords and you want targeted people coming to your website, it could be a very, very good and effective way of growing your business. Well, look, I hope you found that video of value. If you have, please leave a comment in the box below. We'd love to hear from you. I'd also be grateful if you could share this video on on your social networks with your connections. And if you have any questions, please get in touch. My phone number and email address will come up at the end of the video. If you're thinking of using AdWords, have a chat with us because we could probably give you some good advice. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now.